Well, hello and welcome to WAM Wednesday for Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. I hope you're having a great week so far. We want to keep it rolling with our weekly accountability session, as well as we're going to hop into session 5, which is direct solutions. In overcoming obstacles, which is one of our premier courses that we're throwing out here for the next 15 or 16 weeks. We get the 20-week session. That's 20 sessions. So we end up doing it for 20 weeks. We're doing half a session per week per session on a Wednesday. My tongue is not working right. We'll get it going here in a minute on Wednesday and Friday, and we'll be wrapping this up pretty close to the end of the year, and then we can hop right into getting ready for 2022. I know a lot of you are like, don't start talking about 2022 yet, but we're not. We're just mentioning it. We're not talking about it. But anyway, let's get into our weekly accountability meeting first. So let me do a little housekeeping here. Get rid of the brand here because you probably don't need to see that anymore. You know it's Wham Wednesday. Then I'm going to pop out that banner at the bottom. All these cool things that technology has here. And then we are going to go into our accountability meeting. Here we go. Let me get me out of the way, make that bigger. Here we go. For every week, we talk about the percentage of key actions that you executed last week. So if you're new to us, just hang in there. Kind of go through the sheet with us, get your piece of paper out, or better yet, get in your journal. We do get this out of a journal that we use here at A to B for Me called the Phoenix Journal, which in my opinion is the premier journal and scheduling tool out there. If you want a copy of it, hop up to a2bforme.com/store. Go down there and grab you a copy. They're up on Amazon, so go in there and take a look at it. I think that if you just work it for 12 weeks, I think you will see the light and be ready to roll with the Phoenix as your regular planner. But in there we talk about, and this is a sheet out of it, but we talk about key actions, which some of you may call key productive indicators. Some of you might just call them things. I don't know. But anyway, there are key actions towards your goals. And you'll see how we do that on the second page here when we get going. But you have goals every week, and then you have key actions toward those goals. And these are not to-dos. These are not things that it'd be nice if I did that. I think maybe I'll do that if I get time. These are key actions, things that you need to do, executions that need to be handled in order to reach your goal. So we want a percentage of those every week. You go through, you add up how many you wanted to do or plan to do, and then go back and add up how many you actually did and make that a percentage. And then we'll check that against your past percentages and your percentages going forward and see how you're doing as progress to goal. When we look at it, and if people say, well, I don't understand how this thing works. Well, if you got a low percentage and you're reaching your goals, then that tells us that your goals aren't big enough. But if you have a really high percentage and you're not reaching your goals, maybe your goals are too strong. So you might want to either raise the action level, look at the key actions, just a way that we can help coach you and help you to reach your goals. And then every week we want to look at what victories from the past week that you're most proud of. Because there might be something there. Might be some other goal areas. Might be some changes in your mission statement. We'll talk about mission statement this week in our weekly accountability and our weekly accountability, but our weekly challenge that we did on Monday. So I hope you've worked on that this week. But you want to look at that because you might have some changes in your mission statement based on some things that you're feeling really good about. You got those endorphins flowing because you did something, and all of a sudden your subconscious is going, that might be something we want to do, right? So, well, I want to make note of those. It might not be your key actions or some of your goals, but it might be something totally different. So every year we want to review, every 6 months we really want to review our mission and where we're headed. And every year, certainly minimum, we want to go over our goals and our objectives for our life and for our coming, what's coming up in the next 12 weeks and the year and the 2 to 5 year plan, or however you do it, just to make sure that we're still on track with our core values. And then let's go ahead and look at what you need to most improve upon. Every week, there are some things that we can improve upon. You want to, the goal here for us at A to B for me is to be the best you can possibly be. So there's always, room for improvement. I know that the old adage that success is not a destination, it's a journey gets overused. And a lot of people are like, I've heard that a dozen times. But it is true. And so there's always ways that we can improve. We can keep the zigs and zags closer together, closer to baseline, and make that more of a straighter line so we can get where we want to get faster. But let's look at what we might be able to improve on, even if it's just a little bit, right? And then always look at our gratitudes. What am I most grateful for? We want to do this every day, for sure. One of the first things you do every day. So want to think about what you're grateful for in your life. This is what we call our anti-pity party session. A to B for me. A lot of times we get out there and we're working so hard and we're just not seeing really much improvement or much success. And a lot of times you're building equity, right? You're building. You got that kinetic energy going, and it's just going and going and going, and you're building. Potential energy, and you're trying to transfer it over to kinetic, and eventually you'll get there. Sometimes you get to feeling sorry for yourself. Well, don't do that. Let's just think about all the things we're grateful for in our life, the things that we're blessed with, God's blessings, and all those wonderful things. And let's put some of those down in here. And then let's look for next week. What are we going to do to live next week to the fullest? And the 4 key areas that we look at that kind of combine everybody's goal area one way or the other. Goal areas one way or the other are relationships, recreation, personal and health, and work. If you knock out those 4 areas and get some planning done there, and be sure that you can combine these, like we always say, you can combine several different categories sometimes into one and knock things out. But just try to keep your life balanced as much as you can. A lot of people talk about work-life balance, and it's really hard to attain sometimes, especially if you got a regular job and you're working 8 and you're getting up to get ready to go, and then you in traffic and everything, getting ready to come back. But also the entrepreneurial life, because we act like we can never take any time off. So you want to try and schedule that and make sure you got time in there for yourself and for those around you. All right, then we'll always look at what goals we got for the upcoming week. Might look back at your last ones and see what you didn't get done. Maybe you got them all done. You're ready for the next step. So look at these. Might be step goals. You've done a couple of them, and now you just keep adding to it to reach your big, hairy, audacious goal, your BHAG, which is an acronym that is used in the compound effect with Darren Hardy. But look at your goals. Don't have to have 4 of them, but you certainly want 1 or 2 to work on for the week in different areas, maybe the same area, but just different projects. And you want to have your key actions, and this is where you put them. At least have 4 key actions generally for every goal, but you can have more. This is your sheet. You do what you want to with it. We just want to make sure that you have some direction for the week. Just make sure that they're specific, actionable, and measurable, because we all want to keep working with SMART goals. And then just look at what you're looking forward to most this week. It might not be in your goals. It might be something else. It might be a reward. It might be just hanging out and doing nothing, right? So what are you looking forward to most this week? And then if you could accomplish one thing, just one thing this week, what would it be? So what's that one big thing that you want to get accomplished this week? And you want to review this every single day. A couple times, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening before you go to bed. Get it in the subconscious overnight so you're ready to go the next morning. And then we got Action and Habit Tracker here, which is a small version, but it's our weekly version. We have a huge one in the back of the Phoenix Journal. But you look at what actions or habits that you want to change or adapt or modify. And let's put an aim of how many times we're going to do that this week, 4, 5, 3, whatever it is. And then check off the days that you do them. And then hopefully the aim equals the checks, and you get a check mark on the right side saying, hey, I pulled this one off this week. So that's the only way to really change the habits is to go through action. Our A to B for me strategy is thoughts, action, and habits. And once you get those things rolling, you can slide right into your character. Your core values are going to be attained, and everybody's going to be realizing that who you are and what you're doing, and then your destiny is not very far away from there. All right. Well, that's it for our accountability meeting this week. So get those things done. And if you got any questions about it, want to reach out to us, just reach out to me here at A to B for me, and I'll be happy to help you. And the one way to do that is if you look at our first slide here, a to b for me.info/15 with Don. If you're new to the program, and you just want a little 15-minute session, kind of get yourself a baseline where you need to go, what's going on, or just have somebody to talk to, reach out to us. There are going to be 4 questions when you go to that site and schedule your 15-minute session. So be sure that you've got time to complete those things, because we certainly don't want to be wasting time. Time is very, very important, probably your most important asset. So be sure we don't want to waste yours, and we certainly don't want you wasting ours or mine. So be sure that we're ready for that one-to-one strategy session. All right, well, let's hop into overcoming obstacles. We've been doing this for a few weeks, and now we're into session 5, and session 5 is going to be on direct solutions. It's kind of like the easy button. You just hit that solutions button, and here we go, right? Oh, we wish it could be that easy. Well, we're going to talk about the fastest way to resolve challenges as we go through here. And again, that's what this entire 20-week series is about. So let's look at some direct solutions. We're going to really do about half this lesson today, and we'll pick up the balance of it on Friday. So be back with us for Finish Strong Friday. Let's get rolling. Well, the first thing is never let your fear decide your future. That happens a lot of times. I mean, that fear just paralyzes you and keeps you from doing things. In the last session, you learned how fear and discomfort can rule your life. Now, if you didn't hit the last session, or you're just joining us for the first time, you can go back. Probably the best place you can go, get on Facebook and see them, but you can go back up to YouTube and just catch the WAM Wednesday playlist and the Finish Strong Friday playlist, and you can go back and forth and catch them all. But we talked about discomfort and how it can rule your life, because fear really, it drives us all. There's always something that some fear that we all have, and none of us are totally fearless. We like to think we are, or maybe we want people to think we are, but we really aren't. We all have those inhibitions and things that we're worried about. But we're going to look at the fastest way to solve some of your challenges, so that you don't let fear decide your future. So let's go ahead and get rolling here. Well, direct solutions are fast and simple, but they're rarely easy. Nothing, again, we talk about the easy button a lot, and wouldn't it be nice? I mean, dadgummit. I mean, but really, it might be nice, but really, would it be cool? I mean, to go through life never having any challenges, to never really have any growth opportunities. Well, some of you say, oh yeah, hell yeah, it would be. It'd be awesome. All I have to do is go, don't have to worry about my funds, and they're just unlimited, and I can just go do whatever I want to. Well, you say that. But I tell you, there's a lot of folks out there that have all the money in the world, and they're just totally just frustrated. They don't know who their friends are. They don't know if their friends are their true friends. So there's a lot of hang-ups with that. But it doesn't matter. But any of your direct solutions here, they're going to be fast and simple, but they're just not easy. They require the ability to deal with discomfort at a high level, and if you're not able to do that, then again, that's just a training. Life is all about training, and that's just another training that you have to do. And it's really between your conscious and your subconscious mind, and you have to get everything on board. And that's why thoughts are so important, and that's why thoughts are the first level of our A to B strategy, A to B for me strategy. And unless you get that first foundational level handled, you're going to have trouble on the whole level, all levels, because if your thoughts aren't there, you're just not going to make it through action, because again, the discomfort is going to be there, and you're not going to be able to deal with it because you don't have the subconscious on board. And when you're trying to find a solution to any challenge in your life, you may feel uncomfortable considering the direct approach. A lot of folks they're just A to B just doesn't make any sense to them. They got to go all these different ways to get to the destination. But and a lot of you are kind of like got that deer in the headlights look, like this little girl here. All these little demons around her. Oh my God, I don't know if I really want to do this or not. Well, I tell you what, just turn on the light and just face the fears and let's get it rolling here. Because fear, uncertainty, and discomfort are your compasses towards growth. Again, if you don't have challenges, if you don't have discomforts, there's nothing to obtain. There's nothing that you can really sit back and say, wow, I did that, right? Well, the direct approach requires three things: self-discipline, which is discipline is a nasty word to some people to begin with, but you have to have self-discipline, and you have to have courage, and you have to have stamina. In other words, you got to be in control of yourself, and then you got to reach deep within yourself, and then you have to maintain yourself. So self-discipline, courage, and stamina are really three key things when we're talking about the direct approach. They often require more self-discipline, courage, and stamina than you're used to demonstrating. So you might say, well, yeah, I got some of that. Well, you're going to need more probably if we're going to use the direct approach. However, most of us also know at our core that if we could just get ourselves to follow through on a direct course of action, your challenge would be resolved. You know this. It's something out there that is very, very obvious to you and everyone around you. Why don't you just do it? Well, you don't want to just do it because you have fears, and that's what we have to get around. But you know, doggone well what you need to do. It's just a matter of getting up of the self-discipline, the courage, and the stamina to make it happen. And we're here to help you do that and support you in making these things work for yourself. So let's look at a few scenarios here. Do we want to go straight, left, right? What do we want to do? Well, I think you already figured out the one that we want to go to. Let's take a look at the weight loss, for example. Maybe some of you step on a scale and now it's saying OMG when you step on it. That's never a good thing. But if you want to lose weight, one possible direct solution, especially for female, in this instance, would be to limit yourself to 2,000 calories a day and then exercise for 60 minutes a day. Because that would 200,000 calorie, 200,000 men are probably thinking, yeah, I'll do 200,000. 2,000 calories a day will really take care of your functions, bodily functions, help you survive basically. And so by exercising 60 minutes a day, you're eating into that 200 calorie intake. So that's going to help you lose weight. And there's no doubt that anyone who adhered to this program would lose a significant amount of weight. And we talked about the Phoenix Journal earlier. But if you just stuck with it for 12 weeks, you would see a massive change in your life. But how many people can actually get themselves to stick to it for 12 weeks? Well, we see this every year. It's called a New Year's resolution. I'm gonna lose weight. Well, yeah. On January 1, the parking lot out there in the gym was packed. On February 1, you got tumbleweeds rolling across the daggone thing. So we just can't even stick to things for 4 weeks, much less 12 weeks. But if you would just do it, you would see amazing results. Now, sometimes I get chastised for this, but I'm talking to the fellas out there growing up. You all know that suppose you wanted to date a beautiful woman. Now, again, there might be some ladies out there, well, that want to date a beautiful woman, but one possible direct solution is to go where they're likely to be. It's going to be a large number of women, right? I mean, you don't want to go out to some place where there's just going to be a bunch of guys if you want to date beautiful women, right? And if you want to date beautiful guys, you go where beautiful guys are. But then once you get there and you see all these lovely ladies staring at you, you have to continue asking out beautiful women until one of them said yes, right? So you're going to go, hello, how are you? My name, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to go out? Blah, blah. I mean, you got to, right? I mean, that's just, the solution is simple. You just go where they are. And you ask them if they want to go out, right? There's going to be two options, yes, no. Well, there might be three, but I don't know what the third was going to be, but it's generally is yes or no. But how we're actually doing it will require a significant amount of courage for some of you guys, right? You just, my self-image ain't there, dude. I can't go out go out there and stand in the middle of that and have any confidence. Well, we need to work on that. But it doesn't really matter if it's women, if it's business contacts. You go to a networking event those types of things. If you want to go where people are looking for your particular skill set, or your particular uh, uh, that pop-up came up, so I lost my train of thought. But your particular industry, then you want to go in a networking situation where you can find those types of people, and then you just have to give them your elevator speech, right, and have it ready and be ready to answer questions, and then when you get their cards or whatever, you need to be able to follow up. So the solution is simple, but actually doing it requires some courage. All right, well, let me get off this slide for you guys out there get too mesmerized. But that's what we're talking about. We're talking about going A to B, not all these other ways of getting there. You want the simplest and the fastest way. And if you consider them closely, many of life's greatest dilemmas, they really do have rather simple solutions. And when you go back and look at your life, you can see those. You can say, well, back in the day I did this and that and the other because I didn't have the confidence or the ability to do that. But man, if I had just, taken 3 deeps and went for it, my life would have been a lot different, right? Well, the only real challenge in figuring out how to become the type of person who could implement a direct approach is because most of us spend a lot of time coming up with ways to work around our lack of discipline or courage. And really, again, the only real challenge is figuring out a way to implement this direct approach. And so the simplest and fastest equals discipline or courage. And we talked about that earlier. You have to have really self-development, discipline, courage, get in there and make this thing happen for yourself. This is why developing your self-discipline and your ability to take action when you're afraid are perhaps the most important areas of self-improvement. And that's why we talk about thoughts, actions and habits. That's what you have to do. And if you don't have those things, you're never going to really climb, the ladder of success, or however you visualize that. But again, just self-discipline and taking action are the most important areas for self-improvement. They're the ones that are going to help you hit that target. And when you work on these 2 attributes alone, your ability to implement direct solution improves. You no longer have to take the long way around. So that's really part of the A to B for me strategy, is helping you have that discipline and having you take action instead of procrastinating or just, fiddle-faddling around and not getting anything done. So, but why are they challenging? Look at this bridge. You see the flag up there. That's where it is, right? But all you see is this rickety ass bridge between here and there, and it scares the hell out of you, right? Well, while direct solutions seem reassuring because they'll obviously work, they're also disturbing. There's an obvious solution, just staring you in the face. Just walk across that bridge, but taking action just seems to be challenging. Fear just knocks you up and you say, there's just no way I can make this. So why do these approaches seem so daunting? So let's take a look at that. You got to ask yourself, for your answer, try considering a direct solution to one of your current challenges. In other words, ask yourself right now, am I really willing to follow through on that? Whatever it is, well, what are some of the challenges that you have right now? And you know the solution. It's sitting there right in front of you, but and you see other people doing it all the time, and you're frustrated. My goodness, that guy, he did this, that, and the other. Oh, he's just so much smarter. Well, that's just an excuse. Get out. Really. You just have to ask yourself, am I really willing to follow through on what you need to do to get that done? Am I willing to transform myself into the type of person that could take these actions consistently? Okay, and that's the only difference between you and that other person, is they have figured out a way to transform themselves into taking those actions consistently. And again, first thing you got to start. We're going to talk about solutions here in a little bit, or on Friday. But you got to ask yourself these questions. So just stop right here on this slide and write out some of the things out there that you're having issues with, some of your challenges right now, and say, look, if I know there's a direct solution, and here is that direct solution. Just take your emotions and everything out of it and look at it logically and say, here is the direct solution. Now, am I willing to follow through on this? And I'll tell you what, if it's yes, it's either yes or no, right? So if it's no, then that's a problem. Clearly, you're probably hoping it for a yes, right? But at least you now have your answer. It's an obvious solution exists, but you won't take it. Then you are the source of your own challenge. And now, in the meeting, it's not going to be easy. And a lot of you are like, well, wait a minute, I thought you're supposed to pump me up, man. You're supposed to make me bigger and better and 7 foot tall and bulletproof. And now you tell me I'm the problem. Well, that's the first part of any issue is determining the root cause, right? And if you determine that it's you, then now we know what it is. It's not the fact that you don't have a telephone. The reason why you can't call people is not the reason why you don't have phone numbers or names or the internet or anything to be able to get those phone numbers and a way to contact someone. You have all the tools are there for you. The problem is you. You're just not doing it. So you have to sit down and admit that. And that's probably what when you do that exercise that we talked about on the previous slide, it's probably what you came up with. And that the answer is just you. I'm just not willing to do that. Well, there's a reason, right? either this isn't what you need to be doing, or your why is not big enough. If your why is big enough, if we talked about mission statement this week in our weekly challenge, and if your mission statement isn't conducive to are big enough, your legacy isn't out there that you want to go after. If it isn't big enough, then you're not willing to do the things, the uncomfortable things that you need to do to get to where you need to be. So we need to sit down and re-examine that. We need to go through 5 days of you or one of our programs and figure this out. There's no sense in struggling and stressing and doing all these things and getting down on yourself and just, wanting to go, stick your head in a hole or something. Let's just stop and let's say, hey, let's back up and let's take a look at it. And that's what we're here for, to make sure that you are progressing the way that you should be progressing. But the answer to these questions are really just twofold: either yes or no. You're willing to do this, or you're not willing to do it. So in most cases, the source of your challenges is really you. Okay, but you may become aware that you're choosing to be timid or undisciplined. Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a fault that is common. That's the reason why there's 5%ers and there's 95%ers, right? 5%ers are out there doing the things that they're uncomfortable with. They're getting out there and they're doing them, whether they want to do them or not. So you're choosing to be timid or undisciplined. However, the discomfort caused by this realization, in other words, the fact that you realize now that it's you, maybe that's enough to generate some of the personal changes you've been looking for. So maybe you can sit there and you can say, hey, doggone it, Dan, it is me, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this situation. I'm tired of me being me. I want to be greater than me. I want to be the best that I can be. So now I want to get out of this. And then you can propel yourself toward a happier life that you deserve. Just strap on that pack and go now, right? And that's what we want to get you rolling. We want to get you going up the positive trajectory of the A to B for me strategy, so that you can get your thoughts, your actions, your habits right, get your character, your core values all set, and then just hit your destiny, whatever it is and whatever goal area you're going after. You'll be glad to discover that being able to choose more direct solutions, it simply takes practice. It's all it takes. It's like anything else in life. You've got to practice. I like to play golf, but I don't necessarily practice, right? So when I get out and I play golf, I'm not really progressing at the level that I should be because I'm not out there playing and at the driving range and just kicking my butt and making it happen every day, right? Because it's just something that I do. I'm not trying to make a living doing it, but I complain because I'm not getting better. Well, there's only one reason you don't get better. You're not practicing it. And that's the only thing we're talking about here. It's just one more thing. So we have to look at the direct solutions to how we can overcome these obstacles, and then we need to practice them. So once we practice these strategies, we're going to be in a lot better shape. And bottom line, it doesn't get easier. You just get stronger. That's the bottom line. That's what we're talking about here. uh, life isn't going to get easier. It's going to seem easier because you've gotten stronger. But as with anything, practice makes perfect, or at least it makes it easier to accomplish what you desire. Perfection is something that's just kind of out there, something we can always go for, but practice is going to make you better. It's going to make it easier to accomplish all these goals that you have. And in the next session, we're going to be discussing the tips to practice using direct solutions. So we'll hop into that. I'm trying to make our sessions not longer than 30 minutes so that you can, I know you got other things to do in your life. We want to give you enough tips to work on, but go through and work these. Look at that exercise. Go back and flip through and look at it. And let's look at some of your obstacles and ask yourself those 2 questions. And that's really going to help us coach you and get you really where you need to be. But next time we'll be talking about tips to practice using direct solutions. All right, well, that does it for today. I'm going to hop back in here real quick and say goodbye to you. Be sure and check us out tomorrow, Thursday, for Thrive Thursday at noon. James Clear sent us some good stuff again this week, so we'll be going through that. Many of you know it's one of my favorite times of the week. I just love Thrive Thursday. But go through and go over these things. If you need some help, again, a2bfromme.info/15 with Don. I'll be happy to sit down with you. And it'll be a Zoom call, and we'll get it done wherever you're at. But go through, but be ready, be prepared if you make that commitment to go through those 4 questions that you're going to see, so we can make it effective for you and keep you moving in the direction of your dreams. That's what we're here about. All right, well, have a great one. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, we'll see you Friday for Thrive, for Finish Strong Friday, and we'll finish up overcoming obstacles, this session 5. All right, well, have a great